Last year you earned more money than the year before. You got a raise. Perhaps a promotion. Perhaps a better job. And somehow, at the end of the year, you had less in your account than the year before. More money arriving at your door. Less money staying inside your house. Nobody stole it. Nobody sent you a bill. Nobody asked for a signature. But something took it. Quietly. Automatically. While you were looking the other way. I trace money for a living specifically. The money that vanishes between a man's paycheck and his future. The gates it passes through. The hands it falls into. And I can tell you, there are 3 men standing on the road between your paycheck and your dry dock. The place no toll collector knows exists, and every week they take a coin from you. And you have never once seen their faces. They do not send bills. They do not ask permission. They were collecting from your grandfather. They were collecting from your grandfather's grandfather. If nothing changes between tonight and tomorrow, they will be collecting from your grandson. I will name all 3 of them before we are 6 minutes into this video. And I will show you the exact position on a medieval road where each one stands with his hand on a chain. Here is what makes them so dangerous. They do not arrive as bills. They arrive disguised as rewards, as upgrades, as things you believed you had earned, a slightly nicer apartment, an extra subscription, a dinner out on a weeknight, a new car that matches the man you are becoming. Because the old car no longer does. Each one feels small. Each one feels reasonable. Each one feels like the natural shape of a successful life. And each one is a coin dropped into the hand of a man you will never meet. At a gate you do not see. On a road you have been walking down since the day you got your first paycheck. You are not broke because you earn too little. You are broke because you have been walking a toll road. In the dark. For your entire working life. And nobody told you the road had tolls. And nobody gave you the map that shows where the 3 gates stand. I am going to give you that map right now. But before I hand you the map, I want to tell you who designed the road. Because the tolls on your paycheck did not appear by accident. They were written down by a specific man, in a specific journal, in a specific season of a specific year, and the writing is still sitting on a shelf in a library. If you know what drawer to look in, the man's name was Victor Lebow. He was an American retail analyst writing for the Journal of Retailing in the spring of 1955. He was not famous. He was not a household name then, and he is not a household name today. He was not prescribing. He was diagnosing. He looked at the post-war American economy and wrote down, with surgical accuracy, exactly what it was about to demand from every consumer alive. The diagnosis was so precise that the men who read it did not treat it as a warning. They treated it as a manual. And every marketing department at every corporation in every country that sells things to tired men on weeknights has been executing that manual, directly or indirectly, for 70 years. Here is what Lebow wrote. And I want you to sit with it, because the sentence is the reason the road was ever built. He wrote, in the spring of 1955, that the enormously productive economy of post-war America demanded that consumption be made into a way of life, that the purchase of goods be made into a ritual, that men be taught to seek their spiritual satisfaction at the cash register, and that things be consumed, burned through, worn out, replaced, and discarded at an ever-increasing rate. Consumed, burned through, worn out, replaced, discarded, at an ever-increasing rate. That was not a prediction. That was a diagnosis so accurate that the next 70 years of Madison Avenue read it as a set of instructions. Lebow did not build the road. He described the road that was already being laid beneath his feet. And the builders read his description and followed it like a blueprint. The diagnostician died in 1980. The road he described is the road your paycheck walks down every Friday. And on that road, precisely as Lebow's specification requires, there are toll houses. 3 of them, one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. Every coin you have ever lost to any of the 3 is a coin that was written into one sentence in a retail journal in 1955. Before you were born. Every man and woman before you walked this same road without a map, your great-grandfather walked it. His father walked it. His father's father walked it. The 3 tolls were collecting from each of them in their own decade. And nobody in your bloodline received a warning. Because the men walking the road were the same men writing the letters home. And not one of them could see the toll houses they were walking past. Every raise your grandfather spent into a new apartment was a raise his father also spent into his version of a new apartment in his decade. Every tired purchase at the end of a long day was a purchase your great-grandmother made at the equivalent hour in her kitchen in 1932. You did not fail. You walked a road built to collect from everyone who walked it. And the collecting was so quiet that not one of your ancestors thought to warn you. Put the accounting of shame down. You never had the map. Here. The road is still standing. The 3 toll houses are still open. Victor Lebow died in 1980, and the specification he wrote in 1955 is still operational in every shopping mall from Seattle to Shanghai. No lord in history has ever torn down a gate that was still collecting coin. The lord at the first gate is not going to retire. The collector at the second gate is not going to miss you. The painted window at the third gate is being refreshed as we speak. Your ancestors walked the road because they had no map. You have the map now. And the map is the difference between a man who keeps walking the road and a man who steps off it. Let me show you the gates. The first toll stands at the point where the road begins. It is collected in the first 60 days after any raise. This toll has taken coin from good men for as long as the modern paycheck has existed. And the pattern has not changed once. Think back to the last raise you received. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Your mind registered it as progress. You had worked hard. You had earned it. And, within 60 days, the apartment was a little nicer. The car lease was a little newer. The subscriptions multiplied. The coffee that used to cost $4 at home now costs $7 at a counter. The gym was a tier better. The restaurant on a weeknight stopped being an occasion and started being a habit. Add up every line that did not exist in your life 90 days before the raise arrived. Do the arithmetic honestly. For most men who walk this road, the new expenses consume between 80 and 97 cents of every new dollar that arrived. The raise did not raise you. It raised the toll house. On the medieval road, this was called the entry toll, and it was paid by every merchant the moment he stepped into the territory of a new lord. The lord did not care what the merchant was carrying. He cared that the merchant had entered the territory looking slightly more prosperous than the day before. The toll adjusted upward by the exact amount of any new prosperity the gate could detect. The lord did not need a receipt. He had men trained to see the first sign that a merchant had something new to protect. And the toll was collected before the merchant could finish unpacking. That is what happens to your raise. The lord at the first gate is every marketing department, every showroom, every landlord, every app that raises your standard of living by exactly the amount your paycheck raised. He does not know you. He does not hate you. He just needs to be standing at the gate on the day your raise arrives, with a receipt already printed. And he needs you to be tired enough to sign it without reading. And the moment you sign, the toll is collected. And the new version of your life becomes the baseline from which the next toll will be calculated. That is one gate. The second does not wait for a raise. It waits for nightfall. The second toll stands at the middle of the road. It is not collected in the morning. It is collected at the end of the day. When a man's hand is tired, every hour of waking life, you stand at a small free gate. Shall I have coffee or tea? Shall I answer this letter or that one? Shall I wear this coat or the other? Each of these gates is free. No toll is collected. But at each one, a small amount of something inside you is spent. Call it judgment. Call it the reserve from which the word no is drawn. It does not matter what you call it. It matters that by the time the sun has gone down and the light is off in the street and you are standing in your own hallway, you have exactly 3 no's left in your pocket. And the 4th no is not going to come. That is the moment the second toll is collected. It does not stand on the bright part of the road. It stands in the dark part. It stands where tired merchants arrive at the end of a long day of walking, when their heads are bent and their hands are already searching for the purse. The toll is a small coin. $12 for something from a screen at 10:30 at night. $19 for a gadget that arrived because a picture arrived before it. $70 a month for a subscription that a sharper version of yourself, at 8 in the morning, would have canceled in 40 seconds, but the tired version at 9:47 on a Wednesday never got around to? None of these are character failures. They are the tax a tired hand pays at the second gate. Warren Buffett built his entire life around a single defense against this toll. He made as few daily decisions as possible. He did not choose what to eat. He did not choose what to wear. He did not choose which room to sit in. He chose once, decades ago, and he kept choosing the same thing every morning for the rest of his working life. Not because he loved monotony, because he understood that the man who arrives at the gate with his reserve intact is the only man who can afford to say no when the toll collector reaches for his purse. You cannot outspend the second toll. You can only arrive at it early, with your reserve still full, and walk past it before the collector wakes up. The third toll stands at the end of the road. It is the largest of the three, and it is the only one whose collector you will see in the mirror. Imagine you are walking down the medieval road with your cargo, and at the final gate, there is a strange thing. There is a painted window built into the tollhouse wall, and when you look into it, you do not see the Lord on the other side. You see yourself, a better version of yourself, a version wearing slightly finer clothes than you are wearing, sitting in a slightly finer carriage than you can afford, surrounded by slightly finer company than you presently keep. The painting is so well done that you believe it, and the man at the gate says, softly, "You can walk through this gate as you are, or you can walk through as the man in the painting." The man in the painting costs only a little more coin. The man in the painting is almost within reach. Pay the coin, and the gate swings open as the man in the painting. Refuse the coin, and it swings open as yourself. Almost everyone pays. The toll is not a fraction of your cargo. The toll is the difference between who you are and who you have been shown you could be. And the clever thing about the third toll house is that the painting is refreshed every day. Every neighbor who pulls into the parking lot in a new car repaints the window. Every acquaintance who mentions a renovation repaints it. Every stranger whose life looks effortless from a distance repaints it. By the time you arrive at the gate, the painting has been refreshed 1,000 times, and the man you see in the window is no longer even a man you recognize. He is a composite of every successful-looking person you ever passed on the road, assembled by men you never met, and placed in front of you as the toll. I have traced cases where a man who could not pay his rent signed a lease on a $40,000 car because the painting in the window showed him driving it. I have traced families with 3 months of savings who took a vacation that put them back to 1 month. None of those people bought a car or a vacation. They bought the painting. And the painting is the most expensive thing on the entire road. Because once the coin passes through the third gate, the painting disappears and the merchant walks on with one less coin and no reflection at all. Almost every merchant who ever walked this road paid all three. Almost. One did not. Hetty Green was born in 1834. She died in 1916. For most of the 50 years she lived in New York. She was the richest woman in America. At the time of her death, her fortune, in today's coin, was somewhere between $2 and $4 billion. She was the largest single financial force on Wall Street for 3 decades. She lent money to Wall Street financiers during the Panic of 1907. The city of New York borrowed from her to meet its obligations. And for all of that, she lived in a rented room in a boarding house in Hoboken, across the river, to avoid the tax of a permanent address. She wore the same black dress until it turned green. She ate cold oatmeal out of a tin bowl. She walked to her bank on Wall Street every morning, in the same coat, for 30 years. They called her the Witch of Wall Street. They wrote cartoons about her. They mocked her in the newspapers of 3 continents. And Hetty Green did not care. Because Hetty Green had seen the 3 tolls. And Hetty Green had decided, somewhere around the age of 20, to walk off the road entirely. She paid no first toll because her life never contained an upgrade. She paid no second toll because her daily life was identical for 50 years and therefore required no tired decisions. She paid no third toll because she did not look into the painted window. Ever. Not even once. even when the painting showed her dressed in silk by half the drawing rooms of Manhattan, and while every peer she had paid the 3 tolls every day of their lives, Hetty Green walked beside the road, in the grass, with her coin intact, and her dry dock full. And when she died, she was worth more than any of them. Now I want to put a number on what the 3 tolls cost a man who does not walk off the road. I love arithmetic for one reason. Arithmetic is the only witness that cannot be bribed. Take a middle-income household. Apply the first toll at about $300 a month in post-raise creep. Apply the second toll at about $300 a month in tired hand purchases and forgotten subscriptions. Apply the third toll at about $200 a month in painted window spending. That is $800 a month, $9,600 a year. Now, do not think about dollars. Think about hours. At the median wage, $800 is about 27 hours of your labor, every month. You work 27 hours for 3 men you have never met, at 3 gates you have never seen, on a road you did not build. Over a 40-year working life, that is 12,960 hours. Let me put that in a unit a tired man can hold in his hand at the end of a long day. 6.5 years. 6.5 years of your working life, start to finish. Punched in and punched out. Devoted entirely to paying 3 tolls that were specified in a retail journal in 1955. Before you were born. The road does not take your money. The road takes your years. And the years are the only currency you cannot earn back once they are spent. Run the arithmetic on your own road tonight. 3 tolls. 12 months. Write the total on the first page of a notebook you will not throw away. If you want to see how your number compares to the men who walked before you, leave it below. So how does a man step off a road his grandfather walked? His father walked. And his neighbors are still walking tonight. 3 rules. A medieval merchant did not survive by memorizing the map. He survived by learning 3 gates and walking past them with his hand on his purse. You will learn 3 gates tonight. Every toll on this road is collected at one of them. Rule 1. The raise does not exist until it reaches the dry dock. Before your next raise lands, you open a second account. You name it something that reminds you the coin in it is not yours to spend. And you instruct the bank to move the entire raise into that account on the day of the first new paycheck. Your lifestyle does not see the raise. Your hand does not see the raise. The toll house at the first gate does not see the raise. The raise exists only on a statement you look at once a month. The first toll cannot collect from coin it cannot find. Rule 2. The tired hand decides nothing. Every decision that can be made in advance is made in advance. What you eat. What you wear. What time you sleep. What route you take. The only decisions you allow yourself in the tired hours are the ones you cannot avoid. You will delete the 3 apps from your pocket that are designed to collect from the tired hand. You will not keep them in a folder. You will not hide them. You will delete them. Tonight. Before you finish watching this video, the second toll collects from men whose hand is reaching for a screen at 9:47 on a Wednesday. Remove the screen. And the toll collapses. Rule 3. The painted window is covered. You will unfollow. Tonight, every feed that paints the window. Not tomorrow. Tonight, you will replace them with nothing. Empty space. Silence. The painting only updates when a painter is allowed into your eyes. Close the eyes, and the painting dims. Close them for 6 months. And the third toll stops existing. Because you no longer have a reflection the collector can hold up to you. Here is what the protocol looks like when a man commits to it for life. Warren Buffett has sat at the same desk for longer than most of you watching this have been earning a paycheck. He eats the same breakfast every morning. He drives the same route. He reads in the same room for 5 hours a day. The architecture was set decades ago. And the architecture has been making the decisions ever since. The principle behind his routine applies to your road. 1 evening a week. You sit down with 1 page. Not a report. Not a projection. Not a summary written by someone who works for you. Your own bank statement for the week. Every transaction. Every line. Every coin that left the account. The page takes 4 minutes to read. In those 4 minutes you are the merchant walking your own road in daylight. And you are looking at the 3 gates. You look for the entry toll. Is there a new line that did not exist last week? You look for the tired hand. Is there a purchase made after 9 in the evening that the morning version of yourself would not have signed? You look for the painted window. Is there a coin that left because someone else's carriage looked finer than yours? Most weeks the page is quiet. The three gates find nothing, because the path you walk does not pass through their territory. But the weeks that are not quiet? The weeks where a line appears that should not be there. Those are the weeks that will save you more money than any investment you will ever make. Because the man who reads his own toll record every 7 days is a man the 3 toll houses cannot surprise. The toll collector depends on darkness. The Friday page is a lantern. The road will take from you tomorrow morning exactly as much as you let it take today. The toll houses are still standing. The painted window is still bright. Every coin you do not actively defend is a coin already counted by a man you will never meet. Picture a Friday evening. Years from now. You are sitting at the same desk where you once opened a bank app at 11 at night and felt the ground shift beneath you. The page in front of you is your weekly statement. 4 minutes. You read every line. The three gates find nothing. Because the path you walk no longer passes through their territory. And the man who used to pay the toll at 9:47 on a Wednesday does not recognize the man who reads the page at 7 on a Friday. He cannot. They are no longer the same man. The road is walked off one page at a time. But the page cannot explain why the hand still reaches for the screen at 9:47. Even after the tolls are mapped and the gates are marked, the 3 collectors take the coin. They do not move the hand. Something older moves it. Something wired into the muscle long before you ever learned the word toll. That wiring is not on this map. I traced it, and the man I traced it to is not a hand. He is a Scotsman who died 122 years ago. Who wrote the book that has been selling working men the wrong solution for 167 years. His descendants are stacked in every airport bookstore you have ever walked through. You have just never read him. The road did not cost you the years. He did.